friends, it's Moon here and welcome to another session of English literature. So friends, as you can see in the screen, that today's topic of discussion is the symbolic significance of albatross in the poem called The Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Friends, you all know that this poem is very important for all of us because we are dealing with English literature, and the symbolic significance of albatross in the poem is also an important topic because the symbol of the albatross stimulates the entire atmosphere of this poem, and the theme of this poem is based on the profound truth that if one kills an innocent, then he or she should be punished, okay, or it is a punishable act. So, as you all know that in the Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Coleridge, the sailor of the ship or the mariner of the ship killed one bird called Albatross, and then the misfortune begins. In Samuel Taylor Coleridge's The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, which tells the story of a mariner's perilous journey on the sea, Coleridge uses the symbol of albatross, which plays an important role in presenting a world of spiritual significance. Albatross is a bird widely found in the Southern Ocean and the North Pacific Ocean. Albatross is treated like a person in this poem. It is also called as a Christian soul. In Christian symbolism, Jesus Christ is something compared metaphorically to a bird. So albatross could be a symbol of God's creation and of innocence, whereas the dead albatross is a symbol of sin. So here you can see that the poet presents the live albatross as a symbol of God's creation and as a symbol of innocence, whereas the poet also presents the dead albatross as a symbol of sin or as a symbol of punishment. So here in Rime of the Ancient Mariner, while voyaging on a sea, the mariner saw an albatross, and when the mariner kills the albatross, the other sailors see this as a sign of bad luck and fear, rightfully that their dangerous voyage will be cursed and run into trouble. Yet bad luck here is a surface manifestation of a much deeper issue. Now we have to know that when the albatross first appeared in this poem. So in the part 1, stanza 16, the sailors and the readers are introduced to the albatross. So at this point, let me remind you that this poem is divided into 7 parts. So in part 1, stanza 16, the sailors and us means the readers are introduced to the albatross. As the poet puts in, at length did cross an albatross. Through the fog it came, as if it had been a Christian soul. We hailed it in God's name. So here the line number is 63 to 66 of part 1. So here in these lines it is clear that the poet referred the albatross as a Christian soul, and he says that the albatross came through the fog. It means the atmosphere was foggy. So as here the albatross is shown to a similar Christian soul which is positive and eternal. So here the bird albatross is beautiful and the sailors see it as a sign of God watching over them. But the mariner unfortunately shoots and kills the bird. As the poet says that the very deep did rod oak quist, the death fires danced at night, the water like a witch's oils burnt green and blue and white. So this portion is taken from part 2, line number 123 to 130. So now we have to know that why the live albatross is called as a sign of good luck or good omen. So when the bird albatross first appears, the ship was struck in the ice in its journey towards the southern region, and after the sailors befriend with the bird and fed the bird, the ship breaks through the ice. And then in the meantime, in the middle of the friendly cooperation between the man and nature, the mariner shoots the albatross with his crossbow. And thus the dead albatross becomes the symbol of bad luck or bad omen, because it is said that like all of the earth's creatures, God created the albatross. And all the creatures and the albatross is also become the reminders of God's presence in the world. And by killing the bird, the mariner is disrespecting all of the nature, which is a sin according to Christian belief, because it is said that all creatures, great and small, the Lord God created them all. Okay, so in this poem, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, the bird here is not only simply a bird but a carrier of the divine spark. And it is also said that albatross's flesh is also tasted like human flesh, and that point highlighted that both the albatross and the human are touched with divinity. Even the word albatross is sometimes used metaphorically to mean a psychological burden that feels like a curse. So likewise, in this poem, after the killing of the albatross, many of the hardships of the sailors, like they are stuck in doldrums, dying of thirst, began. Okay, so as the poet puts in, water, water everywhere, and all the boats did shrink. Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. It means that all the mariners of the ship are suffered. They can see water everywhere, but they cannot get any drop of water to drink. Here, all the sailors of the ship blamed on one mariner's action of killing a good creature of God's creation. So here, Coleridge compares the killing of the albatross with the crucifixion of Christ. So it is clear that all the hardships that the mariners face is because of the killing of the albatross, which is an object of nature. So in the final stanza of part 2, the poet shows that albatross, the dead albatross, was hanging from the mariner's neck instead of the holy cross. And the poet said that, instead of the cross, the albatross about my neck was hung. So it means that though one person believe in Jesus Christ or in religion, still if he did some misdeeds, then he or she will not save himself from the sin or punishment. So with this profound truth, the poet shows in this poem another truth, that when the mariner finally learns to pray, then the albatross falls into the ocean from his neck and the curse is broken. As the poet said that the albatross fell off and sank like lead into the sea. And this portion shows that the albatross is symbolically pointing towards faith in God, as the poet says that, he prayeth well who loveth well, both man, bird and nest. So thus here it means that when one person feels love for the every object or every element of nature, and when the person can feel the beauty of God's creation, or that person regrets in his or her actions, then he or she can be released from the curse or from his or her sin. Okay, so in this poem, in a life in death situation, when the mariner feels love for the snake, as he said that, and I blessed them unaware, then the mariner is released from his sin and the albatross falls from his neck. That's it. So this was the discussion about the symbolic significance of albatross in the Rime of the Ancient Mariner by S.T. Coleridge. So I hope that this video will help you. So thank you so very much for watching.